The Rhodesian urban pattern. Check it out. We got the Rhodesian urban pattern right here. We're all Rhodesians now. I'm wearing the troublemaker pattern underneath it, so I'm really rocking my own merch. I love my merch, you know? I make my merch for me, really. That's the thing. I mean, there's a handful of guys that buy my stuff, but I mostly make it for me. That's how you know I really believe in it. I want to talk about the Alex Pretti situation, but I wanted to talk more in general about like people that like resist the police, okay? Not counting cell extractions, I've probably resisted the police, gone up against them in some way, probably 2 times in my entire life, okay? And what I could tell you is I only did it when the odds were like overwhelmingly in my favor, and I only did it when, like, you really can't fight the state, okay? You really can't fight the police. They have an endless number of backup. It doesn't matter if you're an ex-Navy SEAL, because they will simply overpower you. They will outnumber you. A Navy SEAL is not invincible. A Delta operator is not invincible. No man is truly invincible and can be overpowered by sheer manpower. So if you have 10 cops with training and weapons and basic coordination, they can overpower a highly trained person. It's 100% true. So the kind of myth, there's kind of like a myth and a legend that there's this one man against the world, and everybody thinks they're this one man because they watch too many fucking movies. It's not how the real world works, okay? Can one man create a lot of trouble for 10 people? Yes, but if you're up against 10 people, you literally have to retreat, okay? You have to retreat, you have to hide, you have to evade, and you have to divide them, separate them, and then conquer them. You can't go toe-to-toe against 10 people and expect to win. You can't go toe-to-toe against the government and expect to win, right? And so this idea, this kind of one man against the world idea, is something that's in a lot of people's heads. And I think that dude Alex Pretti had this main character syndrome thing going on in his head. And I think that he really believed that he was this guy, this operator, this agitator, this revolutionary leader. I think that's what he got in his brain. I think that he believed that he had military training, and he believed, like, you notice he's wearing the earth tones, he's wearing the tactical colors, and I think he combined his military training with the Marxist literature that he's probably reading, and he came to the conclusion that I'm that guy, I'm that agent provocateur that's gonna kick the taillight out and then sink back into the crowd. You know, like he really thought that he was gonna like do something cool. You know, and, you know, their rules of engagement say they can't shoot me, but I also have a pistol on standby, and I get to pick the time and place that it happens, and this is the shit that was probably running through this guy's head. Guerrilla warfare, you know, is a tradition of the Marxist theory, the proletariat, and all this shit was, you know, kind of floating around this guy's head, and before you know it, he really thinks that he's like a character off Star Wars or something, you know, like he thinks he's somebody and he's gonna do something to these cops, these ICE agents. He thinks he's gonna stop them, or he's, you know, and even though he knows he can't take them on by himself, he also thinks that this big crowd of mostly women and college-educated men that have low testosterone is gonna like help him. This crowd really didn't like do anything for him. Like, they could have taken him into custody if they wanted to. Absolutely, like the ICE officers letting him go. I don't even know why they let him go the first time when he kicked the taillight out. I have no idea why they let him get up when he kicked the taillight out. That's when they should have really taken him in. You know, the fact that he was allowed to go after kicking out a taillight, you kick out the taillight of a law enforcement officer down here, see what happens. I'm just being honest, like this craziness that we're seeing up in Minneapolis, like this shit doesn't happen out here. We have peace and tranquility, and the grocery store prices are high but bearable. You know, they're bearable. Okay, you can afford to live out here because you don't have criminals running around stealing everything, you know. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make is, like, people really think that they can like go to war with the police or something. You know, people really think that they can like actually fight the system as like one man is going to change everything. And the truth is, like, one man doesn't really control anything in our society anymore, okay? It's all systems, politicians, bureaucracies, regulatory bodies. That's why Trump derangement syndrome is so stupid. Because you actually think that one person is in control of everything. You actually think that Trump is some powerful oligarch that controls everything. In reality, it's Trump has 1,000 different influences pulling and pushing in every different direction, vying for his attention. And this includes people with many millions of dollars and even billions of dollars. And this is people that own companies that have many thousands of employees, people that actually shape how the economy works. And the idea that the average person's opinion matters is so far removed from reality. It doesn't, but the same thing happens with combat and violence on a grand scale, okay? You're not going to be one man versus the world. You're not going to change everything. Even if you get a band of people together that follows you, you're only going to be able to do so much because there's going to be another band of people that follows this guy over here. And that's the decentralized nature of how things actually work in the West now. Even resistance movements and shit like that. You don't have that much hierarchical control anymore. Everything is like decentralized. Violence is decentralized. Violence is asymmetrical. And so this kind of Western one man against the world main character syndrome is going to get you killed, okay? It's going to get you killed. And the person in the position of authority actually knows this better than anybody. Like if you look at like Thomas Rousseau, like with Patriot Front, like I don't think he views himself as an invincible person. I think he's much more practical minded than that. And I don't think he lets the ego of him being in a position of power, I don't think he literally views himself as this like godlike person. I think he's got a high ego and a high self-esteem, obviously, but I don't think he views himself as this impossible to kill, me against the world, main character syndrome kind of guy. And I believe that like that is what a lot of people out here view themselves as. There's a lot of people out here that I see, a lot of people that think that they're fucking invincible, and you'll find out that you're not, and you'll fuck around and find out that you're not invincible. Okay, there's a lot of people out here that think that they're unbeatable, unstoppable, invincible. Nobody could stop them. It's the main character syndrome shit, and it's pretty powerful in the West because it is an archetype that's in all the movies. But you're not going to beat the state. Okay, you could have a bunch of people beat the state, but they would just form a new state. It's the only thing that beats a state is another state. Okay, individuals don't beat the state. A mob of people doesn't beat the state. The state beats the state. Okay, so even if a bunch of people do overthrow the government and install a new government, that's probably one state overthrowing another state. Okay, and who backed that revolution? Probably another state. Okay, so again, the idea that it took me many years to figure this out. Human beings are hyper tribal. Absolutely, human beings are hyper tribal, and these alliances, they shift around and stuff like that. But power, especially in the 21st century, this is just the way power works. The will of a single man thing is kind of over for the most part. A single man becomes the symbol of a movement, yes, but it's not just the single man that changed everything. And there's a lot of shit that goes into the events of history and how things play out. There's a lot of things, and it involves a lot of people. And you could say it probably involves 10 or 20 people that are at the very top that make the majority of the most important decisions. And you can be one of those people, but you're not John Wick going through the building and you're not that person, bro. And nobody's that person. Even a Navy SEAL is dangerous because he has his team, okay? And yes, he could outsmart 10 people, sure. But the idea that he's going to go toe-to-toe against 10 people, it starts to become more fictional and less based in reality. And so people need to realize like how violence works, how the world really works, how law enforcement really works. It's not that any single cop is big and bad and strong. It's the fact that they'll get 10 of them, and then each one of them is going to grab one of your limbs, and then you're just done. It's like what are you going to do? you know. And so people have this fantasy that they can revolt against the system or whatever. And sure, yeah, people can revolt, and big enough movements can come together, and they could do that. But people don't really realize how it works. You know, you can't. No one person in our society really makes that much of a difference. And I know that sounds like a black pill. Fighting the police, that's dumb. That's a waste of time, you know. And I did it a couple times when I was younger, but only when the odds were overwhelmingly in my favor, okay? Like, I knew that I could resist them and that I could impede them and slow them down, and that there was no consequences, and I knew 100% there's no way this could go wrong. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube-y stuff. Check out the store. Cool stuff like urban Rhodesian camo, stuff like that. Got to get you some urban Rhodesian camo. See you guys in the next one. Jordan Jareb signing off.